Via satellite from Hollywood and New York City, it's Rockline, the show where you interview the hottest stars in rock and roll. Hello again, I'm Bob Coburn. Rockline is brought to you in part by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Tonight, Rockline is an evening with Geddy Lee of Rush. So get your questions ready and call us toll-free in the U.S. and Canada. 1-800-344-ROCK. That's 1-800-344-7625. One number toll-free from anywhere in North America. Many things impress me about Rush, the brilliant lyrics, the unity they exhibit as musicians, and their meticulous concert performances, to name a few. But what really astounds me is the growth that they display from one album to the next. Each successive release is deeper and different. And Rockline welcomes from Rush, Geddy Lee. Geddy, welcome back to the program.
Thanks very much.
Nice to have you here. Back. Great to have you here. A couple of things I want to ask you before we play a song and then invite our callers to talk with you. How was the recording process this time? Was it a difficult process or more enjoyable one this time?
Well, it was difficult, but actually a lot more fun, a lot more pleasurable than in the past. There was a sort of different method to our madness this time. We did it over sort of a 4 to 6 month period, and every 3 weeks we'd take a week off so we could go home and sort of recharge our batteries. And whenever we got together for the next 3-week leg, it would be in a different country, a different environment, so and sometimes a little exotic. So we spoiled ourselves a little bit and really enjoyed making the record.
And that keeps the creative juices flowing, too. Now, somebody told me that Force 10, which is, I guess, really the lead track off of the album, was recorded kind of as an afterthought. Tell us the story about that.
Well, it was more or less an afterthought in the writing stage. We took 2 months to do all of our writing and pre-production, preparation for the making of the record. And we had 9 songs, and I guess it was we had about a day and a half left of time booked before we were supposed to, leave and get ready to make the record. And our producer and all of us were sort of really pushing for 10 tracks on the album. And some lyrics had been submitted to us by a friend of ours, Pi Dubois, who co-wrote Tom Sawyer with us in years gone by. And Neil was able to put some his own thoughts to one of the songs that he had and present it to us in the morning of the last day that we were there. And we loved the results, so we got together and brainstormed for about 2 or 3 hours, and we had Force 10.
This is how it came out. Force 10 on Rockline.
Yeah.
Absolutely tremendous song by Rush. That is called Force 10 from Hold Your Fire, their most recent album, their 12th studio record. Time for a call now for Geddy Lee of Rush. It's Natalie. She's in Calhoun, Georgia, listening to 96 Rock in Atlanta. Natalie, welcome to the Rockline.
Thanks. Hi, Geddy.
Hi, Natalie.
And hi for my brother Greg. That's so I don't get stabbed tonight in my sleep.
Oh, okay. Hi, Greg.
Okay, my question is, in listening to your last albums, I've noticed that there's been a change in musical attitude from like Grace Under Pressure to Hold Your Fire. It seems to be a more positive and a more mature sound, and I wanted to know what had occurred within the band to bring about that change.
Well, that's a good question, and also a very difficult one to answer because you're really talking about 3 people, and you're probably talking about a span of 3 years of their lives. And you're talking about a lot of different things that we each go through as a band, but also as people, and, all kinds of personal growth, different life experiences. One significant thing I think I could shed some light on, we've been taking more and more time off from the rigors of the road and from living in studio and devoting more time to sort of personal interests and personal travel. Neil does a lot of personal travel, Alex, myself. And I think those things help put your life your work in more of a life perspective. And what I mean by that is, when you first start, you work all the time. When you're exhausted, you come home. And those are 2 really very separate worlds. But the older you get and the more experienced and confident you get that you're going to be around a little longer, you start sort of integrating both of those into one lifestyle. And I think your experiences in one sort of reach over into the other more easily, if you follow what I mean.
There you go, Natalie. Go ahead, Geddy.
So maybe that's why.
That's a good question and an equally good answer. Thank you, Natalie and Geddy. We're going to take a brief time out and return in just one moment. I'm Bob Coburn. I want to take a second and thank Rita Wild for sitting in for me last week. She did a great job. I got to listen to her on KOZZ, our Reno affiliate. Good job, Rita, and thank you for being here. Your number to call is toll-free to talk with Geddy Lee from anywhere in North America. It's 1-800-344-ROCK. It's Rockline. Hey, welcome back. We just started a really good Rockline with Geddy Lee of Rush. Your number to call is toll-free from anywhere in North America, 1-800-344-ROCK. I'm Bob Coburn. I want to take a moment and welcome a couple of new affiliates to the Rockline. First, WRDU 106 in Raleigh, North Carolina, and also 97.5 KMZ FM in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Love to hear from our new listeners tonight, so give us a call. We have a call now from Tustin, California. It's John. He's listening to 95.5 KLOS. And John, you're on the Rockline with Geddy Lee.
How's it going, eh?
Not too bad, eh? How you doing, John?
How about them Blue Jays?
Well, what can you say?
Hey, good day. So, hey, I want to first say that this is a great pleasure to be able to speak with you, and thank you for allowing this to happen.
Well, no problem. Nice talking to you.
You guys have been my favorite for a very long time, and I'm curious as to what musicians and what musical groups influenced this album, and does it seem as though Alex has taken sort of a back seat like he did on the Signals album?
Okay, as far as the first part of your question, relating to what has influenced us, at this stage, it's very difficult to be directly influenced because everybody's musical taste is really quite diverse. And I think in some ways, probably more esoteric. I don't know if you understand what that means, but for example, I'll listen to 1 minute, I'll listen to a classical piano record, or I'll listen to Metallica the next minute, or I'll listen to, Patsy Cline the next minute. And all of us, I think, have that kind of wide range of musical taste at this stage. So it's hard to really say what's influencing you, if any of those things can possibly influence what we do, or if they all do in some subconscious way. As for the second part of your question, I can't remember what it was. What was it?
I remember that there was a problem with the Signals album after you recorded.
Right, Alex.
You felt that Alex took a back seat. I kind of get the same feeling.
Well, I don't. It's hard for me to answer that question because we're very close to it, and we spent 5 weeks doing guitars on this record, and there was a lot of guitars going on the record, so it's hard for me to look at him taking a back seat. I think he's probably got a slightly more melodic role on this record, and I think a more balanced role. I don't think it's totally guitar dominated, but I don't think the guitar takes a backseat at all. It's still very integral to the sound of Hold Your Fire.
There you are, John. Thank you for your questions. Call us again sometime. Glad you got to talk with Geddy. Let's roll on out of McAllen, Texas this time as we speak with Robert. He's listening to 99X in Brownsville. And Robert, you're on the show.
Hey, Geddy, how's it going?
Not too bad, Robert. How you doing?
Pretty good. This is almost as good as getting backstage passes, but I don't think I'll get it.
Believe me, it's better.
Huh? What was it?
It's better, he says.
It's better.
Oh, because you don't have to look at me. Well, that's okay.
No, that's not what I meant.
What's on your mind, Robert?
All right. Well, I was wondering, since you and Alex apparently write the music that goes into this, the musical portion, and Neil writes the lyrics, what helps you relate melodically to the really complex lyrics that Neil Peart writes?
That's a good question. Sometimes you just have to keep reading the lyrics. We write in a lot of different ways. Sometimes we write music first and try to fit lyrics to music, sort of like a puzzle. And other times you have a completed lyric in front of you, and you just read it enough times and try to understand it and try to get some sort of feeling from it, and some sort of feeling that you can express musically. And I don't really know if there's any way to describe that process that goes on in your brain. You just sort of get a feeling for how this song should feel. And also you sort of combine that with the kind of things musically you want to accomplish on that particular record. So that's on the back on your mind at the same time. And it's sort of it's an indescribable process that goes on inside of you, and you end up expressing it. Sometimes you're right on the money, and sometimes maybe you didn't express that particular lyric the way maybe it should have, but you hope most of the time you're right on.
There you go, Robert. Another good question. Getting some great calls tonight. We'll be back with more calls in just a moment. Right now, time for some music from the Signals album. This is New World Man by Rush on Rockline. New World Man by Rush on Rockline from the Signals album. I'm Bob Coburn. We're with Geddy Lee tonight. We're going to take a call from David in Lincoln, Nebraska now. He's listening to Q102. Good evening, David.
Hi.
David.
I was just wondering what kind of musical training or experience you had before joining the band Rush.
Well, really not very much. When I was really, really young, I took piano lessons, but I quit those. And in school, I sang in the choir, but I outgrew that. And I also took various instruments in school. I played drums for about a month. I played clarinet for about a week. Nothing really very intensely until, I was lucky enough to buy a guitar, or somebody gave me a guitar. I don't remember how I got it when I was about 12 or 13. And no formal training really. Now I'm taking formal training.
Yeah, on-the-job training.
Yeah.
There you go, David. Thanks for your question, and call us again sometime. It's Mike's turn. He's in Toledo, Ohio, listening to FM 104. And Mike, you're on with Getty.
Hi, Getty. How you doing?
Not bad. How you doing?
I can't believe I'm talking. I'm doing great. I got a couple quick ones for you.
Sure.
First, Getty's kind of an unusual name. And I was wondering if you could, kind of explain that. And second, on this album, I think on the last one too, on the credits, your last thing is the Omega Concern. I was wondering what that's about.
Ah, the Omega Concern. Many people wonder about the Omega Concern. Well, how do I describe the Omega Concern? Well, that's a company, actually, that is run by this musical scientist, for lack of a better term. And that person is Alex, as a matter of fact. And he's an inventor, actually, who invents all kinds of things. Most of them don't ever reach the marketplace because he usually invents things for his friends, like us. He invented a fantastic lyric stand for me that lights from the back. It's very complex, a light inside and the whole deal. And he invented a book stand for Neil so that he could eat his breakfast while he was reading a book without having to hold the book at the proper angle. Very useful things like this, sort of kind of a Rotel kind of a situation. But he also manufactures a guitar stand like the one that he uses on stage to hold his acoustic guitars. And the company that distributes it is the Omega Concern. So that's what it is. And as far as my name, well, my name is sort of a confusion of another name. My mother is from Poland. She has a very thick accent. And, when I was young, I was born Gary. But when she pronounced it, everyone thought it was Getty. And so since for a very, very, very long time now, that's what it was. Now it legally is now. So that was the origin of that name.
Couple of really good questions, Mike. Thanks for being on the show tonight. We'll take a brief time out. We'll return with our evening with Geddy Lee of Rush in just one moment. Your number to call is toll-free from anywhere in North America. There's only one number for the one and only Rock Line, 1-800-344-ROCK.
Hi, this is Rick Ocasek of The Cars. You're listening to Rock Line.
And next week on Rockline, it's an evening with the Cars, live and nationwide in the U.S. and Canada. Right now, another song from the latest OP by Rush, Hold Your Fire. This is Time Stand Still on Rockline. Another nice piece of work by Rush from their latest album, Hold Your Fire, Time Stands Still, featuring Amy Mann of Till Tuesday with some background vocals, singing along with Geddy, who is our guest tonight for the entire 90 minutes on Rockline. I'm Bob Coburn. Back to the phones we go to Sacramento. This time we're going to talk with Jeff. He's a listener of 93 Rock. Jeff, meet Geddy Lee.
Hi, Mr. Lee.
How you doing, Jeff?
Really good. This is a real honor for me. I've been on the phone for 5 hours.
Oh, no.
And I just want to thank you for the thought you put into your music, because it's really made a positive difference in my life.
Well, thank you very much.
And I was wondering how your involvement with Amy Mann came about, and what the 3 spheres on the cover represent.
Okay, first part of the question. When we first wrote Time Stand Still, we knew that there was this part that it wouldn't be satisfying for myself to sing, just because we wanted a different texture there. We didn't want to take my voice and put echo on it or gimmick it up or some kind of unusual sound. So we thought, well, we've really enjoyed working with other people over the last couple of albums, so it would be nice if we could get somebody in, a singer. And we thought the part was a soft part texturally, so we thought, a female voice. And we listened to a number of records, and we listened to Amy's last record, What About Love? And we just loved her voice. And basically it was just a very simple matter of, calling up her management, phoning her up, sending her a copy of the song, and asking her if she wanted to do it, which she thankfully did.
You had never met her before?
No, never.
Wow. And the other question, the 3 spheres, is that what he said on the cover?
3 spheres. Okay. Well, it's so difficult describing album covers, because you want to leave a little bit of mystery, and you want it to be interpreted by the person who's holding the thing in front of them. So I'm really not going to say too much about what the cover says to me, but it's nothing extremely mystical or anything.
There you go, Jeff. Thank you for your questions, and thanks for holding on for 5 hours. I hope it was worth the wait for you. I'm sure it was.
It has nothing to do with brown rice.
Well, that certainly clears things up.
Yeah.
Let's take another call for Getty from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan now. It's Dan's turn. He's listening to C95. Hi there.
Hi there. Good evening.
Hi.
Bob.
Dan.
Hi, Dan.
What's happening?
All right. I'm flipping through my tour programs here. I saw you guys in 1984. I'm hoping to get a ticket on this tour. And what I'm wondering, even before I get to the stadium, are we going to hear some vintage Rush in this set, or have you picked the songs out? What exactly is the deal of this tour?
You're talking about the show that we have planned?
Yeah.
The repertoire, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. We'll hear some older stuff, because I know there's quite a few fans of this that are just thirsting for that.
Well, it's so difficult when someone says older stuff, because, what vintage? Old stuff in terms of our first record, which is, really old, 1973, 74, or, even Moving Pictures is almost old stuff in a way, or 2112. We try to put something in from most of the records we've done, but we've got 12 or 13 records out now. I can't even remember how many. And it's really hard to get a big chunk of all those records into the show, because we try to keep it around 2 hours. But, there'll be probably 6 or 7 tunes from this Hold Your Fire album, and the rest will be songs from the past, from various stages of the past, some going back to the very first album and others. But I can't promise you from what album they'll be or how much it'll be, but there'll be, a lot of older stuff there.
There you are, Dan, and hopefully you'll hear the songs that you really want to hear. I have some opening tour dates for Rush. The tour will be rather extensive. The opening dates, really just a handful so far. On the 29th and 30th of October, St. John, Newfoundland. On the 1st of November, Sydney, Nova Scotia. Halifax on the 2nd. The 4th, Moncton, New Brunswick. Then Troy, New York on the 6th. These are all November dates from now on. The 7th, Rochester, New York. And on the 9th, Binghamton, New York. And I'll give you a couple more in a few minutes. We're going to take another call right now. It's Gordon. He is in Franklin, Massachusetts, listening to WAAF in Boston. And Gordon, you're on the show with Geddy Lee.
All right, good day, eh?
Good day. How are you doing, eh?
How you guys have managed to stay together for so long, and yet keep your form. And another thing, I was wondering if we plan to see another album from you guys in the future.
Well, you definitely see another album for us, that's for sure. I don't know when, but you will. As far as how we've managed to stay together this long, nobody knows. We certainly don't know. There's a certain combination of friendship and goals and insanity and, ability to withstand unbelievable amounts of boring moments. And, I don't know. There's so many things that make up a relationship. And I guess, we're a group, but we have a relationship as 3 people, as 3 musicians, as three friends, as well. So all those things go hand in hand, and I don't know how we've been able to survive in what is, I guess, considered a rather short-lived business. Really, there's not a lot of bands that have been around as long as we have now, but I think there's been a surprising amount that have been around for a long time, and I don't know what kind of chemistry it takes to make that, a long-lasting thing. It's hard. It's a hard thing from the inside to know.
There you go, Gordon. Thank you for being on the show tonight.
Question.
It sounds like a pretty good answer to me. It is an elusive thing to try to describe verbally, but it seems to be working. We're going to go back now to the album Permanent Waves. Everything we're playing is on compact disc tonight. This no exception. This is The Spirit of Radio on Rockline. Yeah, The Spirit of Radio by Rush on Rockline. Geddy Lee is my guest for the entire program tonight. I'm Bob Coburn. Going to go back to the phones. Before we do, however, I have a correction for one of the concert dates I announced a while ago. It is now Providence, Rhode Island on the 6th of November instead of Troy, New York. Hopefully Troy will be rescheduled. Providence, Rhode Island will be treated that night, however. Right now we're headed to Logan, West Virginia. We're going to talk to John. He's listening to FM 105 in Charleston, West Virginia. And John, welcome back.
Hi there.
John, how you doing?
I guess my question, what do you think is different about touring now and then when you first started?
I'm sorry, you say about touring?
What do you think is different about touring now as compared to when you first started?
Well, it's quite a lot different, really, to me. There's 14 years in between, for one. But when we first started, we were an opening act, and we usually had no more than half an hour to play, and we were very, very excited to be even touring in what we considered to be the major leagues at that time. And we were traveling around in a car and driving 400 miles a night and sleeping in the car, and we'd play everywhere we could, and we'd play every night if we could, and we'd stay out there for 6 months, 7 months straight, without really any kind of break. And it wouldn't really bother us. It wouldn't take much of a toll on us physically or mentally, because we're just so excited to be doing that kind of thing, to be living what we consider to be, what we'd been striving for all those years from being a bar band. And now, you flash back and you're so many years later, and now it's a whole different thing, because you have more responsibilities, as parts of your families. You have other interests that you want to, spend time doing. You don't want to absorb yourself totally in one kind of a life. So we tour much slower. We go home every 3 weeks for 10 days. We don't do more than 2 shows in a row without taking a day off. All those things keep it from being boring, keep it from being mundane, keep us from playing badly and robotic on stage, to keep some sort of freshness to the performances that we're giving, because now they're 2 hours long. We've been doing it for a very, very long time. So you have to find ways to keep yourself fresh and excited about what you're doing. And also it gives us the opportunity to enjoy the towns that we're visiting now more. When we first got to these towns, 14 years ago, we never thought we'd get to half of them ever again. So, you're just, you're in the concert atmosphere all the time, and you're in the bus, and you're in the car, and you're just thrilled to death. But now you want to see some of those places that you breezed through on your way to other towns. And so a lot of things change about it, and I think you get a lot more out of it if you balance your schedule.
Lots of changes there, John. Thank you for calling and being on again. We appreciate it, and call us again. We're going to talk now with Troy. He's in Pleasanton, California, listening to 97.3 The Rocker in San Francisco. And Troy, you're on the Rock Line.
Getty, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing just fine.
Great.
First off, I'd like to say Hold Your Fire is excellent.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. And how are King Lurch and Neil doing?
King Lurch is pretty good. And Neil's doing just fine as well.
All right. My question is kind of a quick one. I was wondering if you guys are going to be doing another live album after this tour.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, actually, because we've recorded a number of dates on our last tour, and we're planning on recording dates on this upcoming tour. So, it's not 100%, but it's a very good chance that sometime over the next little while there will be some time given to mixing live tracks, and hopefully they'll come out as some kind of live album.
Might there be a video to accompany that?
I don't know at this stage. We're living in the age of video, so
Boy, isn't that the
it's
truth?
sort of inevitable, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't really know.
There you go, Troy. Thanks for being on tonight, and call us again. Let's talk to Chris now, find out what's on his mind. He's in Columbus, Ohio, listening to QFM 96. Hi, Chris.
How you doing, Getty? I just want to say hi from myself, Steve, Mark, Justin, Eric, my mom, my sister, Kathy, and the whole city of Columbus. You guys are the greatest.
Hey, thank you. Hi, Columbus. How you doing?
We're doing great. Seriously, man, you guys are the best band in existence.
Need a question, please, Chris.
All right. I had a couple quick things I wanted to mention, so I'll try to get through them quick. I first wanted to know how you felt about your band as being so far ahead of your time, because like the radio station I'm listening to just like recently added Digital Man to their regular playlist, which is, 5-year-old song, and lots of my friends are like, oh, my favorite song is Subdivision, and so I wanted to know your opinion on that first.
Well, as far as being ahead of our times, it's hard to look at yourself as being ahead of your time, because you always feel like you're falling behind the times, You're desperately trying to catch up to the times and stay in tune with the times. So it's really weird to think of yourself as being ahead of anything. You're just trying to do what you do. As far as anything to do with digital and radio, I'm not sure what you meant by that question.
I think that's probably better addressed at the local radio station there in Columbus, and I'm sure they'd be glad to talk to you. We ourselves have to take a brief time out. We'll return in just one moment to talk with Geddy Lee, toll-free from anywhere in North America. Your number is 1-800-344-ROCK. We're talking rock and roll on Rockline. Welcome back to our Evening with Rush featuring Geddy Lee on Rockline tonight. I'm Bob Coburn. The concert tour is really in its opening stages, and as we speak, dates have been changed and whatnot. I'll try and clear up what we have announced so far. I had announced that on the 9th of November they would be in Binghamton, New York. They will now be in Binghamton on the 13th of November. The 9th, they will be in Springfield, Massachusetts. Other dates so far confirmed: on the 10th, Utica, New York; the 12th, Troy, New York, so you'll not be left out in the Troy area; and on the 14th, Buffalo. That's all we have so far. More dates will be added later. This will be a rather extensive tour. Right now, more rock and roll from the latest LP by Rush, Hold Your Fire. This is Turn the Page on Rockline. From the new album Hold Your Fire, Turn the Page by Rush on Rockline. I'm Bob Coburn. We're with Geddy Lee this evening, and we head back to the phones. We have a call now from 94.5 KSMB in West Lafayette, Louisiana. We're going to talk with Dave now. Dave, you're on the Rockline.
Hi, Geddy.
Hi, Dave.
I got a question from, well, this is from some of the guys down here, me and a guy named Stuart. Now, this album here seems a bit more reproducible on stage than, say, Power Windows did. Was that because you encountered a few problems with Power Windows due to the strings and the choir that you had?
Well, actually, as a matter of fact, this album is more difficult to reproduce than Power Windows, as I can attest to because I just came out of rehearsal today, struggling with these tunes. Let me tell you, it's not easy at all. I don't know why it sounds easy and why it sounds easier than Power Windows, but let me tell you, from the inside looking out, it's far more difficult, primarily because, Peter Collins and the move on this record was for me to play bass right the way from beginning to end through most of the tunes, whereas in the past, whenever I went to a heavy keyboard section, I would usually play bass pedals instead of bass, so it's made it much more difficult for me to reproduce, to keep my bass happening and to keep the keyboard parts happening. So I'm having to use a lot of electronic gear to do that, sequencers and sampling devices and foot switches and you name it. So it's going to be very difficult to reproduce, but we will do it.
There you go, Dave. Thank you for your call, and I'm glad that Geddy could set the record straight for you tonight on Rockline about that one. Let's now move to Milwaukee. We're going to talk to Al, listening to WQFM. Al, you're on with Geddy Lee of Rush.
Geddy.
Hey, Al.
Guy. First, I want to say I've been trying 10 years to try to talk to you, and I know you won't remember this, but last time I accidentally hung up on you, and I'm very sorry.
You hung up on me?
Yeah,
How could you?
hung up on you on Rockline.
How could you do that to me?
I was the Al from Milwaukee, but I got you again.
Well,
and by listening to your last two albums, including Hold Your Fire, songs like Taishan, if I'm saying it correctly, and like Mystic Rhythms, seems to have like a far eastern influence to them. And I was wondering how you go about writing these songs, or do you go as far as like George Harrison carried out his music, or do you just enjoy doing the style?
Yeah, it's just enjoyment of trying to ingest or inject a different flavor to the album, try to have variety to the album. Taishan is a song that, it's a personal song that Neil wrote about his experience, climbing a mountain in China that was called Taishan, and the feelings and thoughts that he had as he got to the top of this mountain. And, that infers a certain Oriental flavor without wanting to go too overboard and make the thing, dripping of Oriental flavor. You just want to have that kind of a mood there. And with Mystic Rhythms, it just seemed appropriate for what the song was talking about. And I think it's nice to balance off your record with different styles and different textures. So that's really the motives behind those kind of sounds.
It's a good call, Al. Thanks for being on tonight. Let's move on. Let a lot of people have a turn to talk to Geddy tonight. We're going to talk to Noel in DeKalb, Illinois. He's listening to 104.9 FM WYBR in Rockford. And Noel, you're on with Geddy Lee.
Yeah, good evening, Geddy.
Good evening, Noel. How are you?
Yeah, I just want to mention, I'm doing fine, thanks a lot. I just want to mention that Northern Illinois University loves your new album.
Thank you very much, Northern Illinois University.
Doug, Tom, Mike, and all the Boss Woodmen. My question is I know that you produced the Boys Brigade album, and I was wondering, have you done anything like that since then, and do you plan to do anything like that in the future?
I haven't done any producing in the recent past. I helped some friends of mine with a couple of things over the last little while, but basically, yeah, I am interested in doing more producing, and I would have done some producing this summer with some other musicians, but our schedules didn't work out. There was some conflicts in schedule. And, in the future, I plan on taking and making more time for outside productions because I'm still very interested in doing that.
Thank you, Noel, for your call tonight. That Boys Brigade album is really, really good. It didn't get a lot of commercial success, but if you ever run into a copy of that, treat yourself. It's a fine LP. Let's go back to 1975 now for the title track from this album by Rush, Fly By Night on Rockline. Fly By Night by Rush. My guest, Geddy Lee, this evening. I'm Bob Coburn. You're listening to Rockline, and your number to call is toll-free from anywhere in North America. We'd love to hear from you tonight, so just dial 1-800-344-ROCK. We'll put you on the Rockline. More in just a moment. And once again, welcome back to Rockline. I'm Bob Coburn. It's an evening with Geddy Lee of Rush, and we return to the phones as we speak with Jonathan in Gastonia, North Carolina, listening to 95.7 The Rock in Charlotte. Jonathan, you're on the Rockline with Geddy Lee.
Hey, Geddy.
Hey, Jonathan.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
All right. First of all, I'd like to say that y'all put on the greatest live performance I've ever seen, and you're scheduled to be in Charlotte, I believe, the 27th of November, and I'll be there.
Great.
And what I'd like to ask you is, in a recent issue of Circus Magazine, I read where you said if you had a nickel for every time someone insulted your voice, you'd be a millionaire.
Probably.
I was wondering how you felt about that, and how you know, are you confident with your voice, and how you feel when people say, insult your voice?
No, yeah, well, it's an interesting question. Let's face it, in the first, 8-9 years of my sort of public exposure as a vocalist, my voice was different, and it has a different texture, and I can understand, I polarized a lot of people. I probably had as many people come up to me that told me they loved my voice as told me they hated my voice. So, to see it, insulted in print sometimes, ooh, ouch, that hurts a bit, but you get used to it, and I don't think it ever really hurt my confidence because I just kept on doing it anyway. And you always try to improve yourself as a vocalist, and over the last few years, I think, I've considered myself more of a singer than I have in the past, and vocalizing is very important to me. Getting good melodies and writing good melodies for my songs are really important for me to sing, and being in the right key and all those things are considerations now where they never really were in the past. So, it doesn't bother me anymore, and I don't think it really, I don't think it really fits anymore, too. I think that all happened with a kind of a sound my voice had years ago.
There you go, Jonathan, and enjoy the upcoming concert there in the Charlotte area. Let's move on now to Oxnard, California. We're going to talk to Ted. He's listening to 95.5 KLOS. Good evening, Ted.
Hey, Geddy.
Ted.
How you doing?
Pretty good. What is it?
Never had. I really admire you, how you can play the keyboard, sing, and play the bass.
Well, thank you very much.
My question is, why does Neil Peart write all the lyrics? Is there a reason behind that, or
well, there is a reason. Number one, he's like a human walking dictionary. He's the most literate person I have ever met in my life. And lyrics are something that always were difficult for myself to write. It was a lot easier for me to express myself musically, and the same went for Alex. And when he first joined the band, he was replacing our old drummer who used to write lyrics for the band, when he was in the band. So we discussed the fact that he used to write lyrics and that I was writing them now, but didn't feel that comfortable. And maybe he'd like to have a whack at it. And it was not his idea, but it was a job that he took to very well. And I think he's better suited for the job right now. I think there's probably a time, we all keep little ideas, lyrical ideas, and we all have input into the different songs lyrically that we do on our records right now. We all discuss them, but there's going to be times when there's other lyrics from other people pop up from time and again. But he's very good, I think, in getting better as a lyricist now. And I think it's important to let him do that.
Yeah, I concur wholeheartedly there. Ted, thanks for your call. Let's let Greg have a shot now. He's in Naples, Florida, listening to 96 Rock in Fort Myers. Greg, you're on.
Hi, Geddy.
Hey, Greg. Fort Myers. How you doing?
I just want to take some time to say that you guys are my all-time favorite band, and I have 7 of your albums on compact laserdisc. And I was one of the very first people to get Hold Your Fire. And as I sit here, I'm looking at a poster of you guys on my refrigerator.
Oh, no.
And
the milk will go bad. Quick. Take it off.
Have you guys ever done a soundtrack to a movie? And are you going to do Second Nature on your new album on your upcoming tour?
Okay, first question. No, we have never done a soundtrack, but we have been offered some, and I think we probably would like to do one if the right one came along. As for Second Nature, it's a possibility, but we're really not sure at this stage. It depends on how long the set is getting and what kind of dynamics we'll have in the show.
Well, it's a lock on Rockline. We're going to listen to it right now from a fully digital recording, Hold Your Fire. This is Second Nature on the Global Satellite Network. Beautiful. That's called Second Nature by Rush from their latest LP, Hold Your Fire. More in a moment with Geddy Lee. Your number to call toll-free from anywhere in North America. I'm Bob Coburn. It's 1-800-344-ROCK, and we are still talking rock and roll on Rockline. Once again, welcome back to Rockline. I'm Bob Coburn. We're with Geddy Lee. Let's take a call now from Sarnia, Ontario. We're going to talk with Tony. He's listening to Detroit's WRIF. Tony, you're on the Rockline.
Hi, Geddy.
Hi, Tony.
How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Pretty good. How's the wife?
Oh, very good, I think.
That's good. What do you think of the Jays this year? They didn't do too hot, eh?
Well, what can you say when you lose by one game?
Year, I suppose.
It's heartbreaking.
Okay. I was just going to ask you, somebody said it before that, if you had a nickel for every insult about your voice and stuff, you'd be a millionaire and stuff. Earlier on in your career, did you guys ever think about adding a lead vocalist or anything like that?
No, because I was the lead vocalist. I wouldn't have thought of it.
Didn't need to do that. There you go, Tony. Yeah. Thanks. Let's talk now to Dan. He is in Toronto listening to Q107. Dan, you're on with Geddy Lee.
Hi, Geddy. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. I've missed a concert in 10 years, and you can count on a ticket sale here in Toronto.
Well, thanks very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, I was wondering, ever since the formation of Rush, you've been constantly experimenting with new ideas, even though it means sometimes abandoning successful old formulas. Where is this going to lead Rush in the future?
We have no idea. When we, from record to record, we really don't know what we're going to be doing next. And it's not really until we're sort of partway through writing the record where we actually see a style and a direction that the albums take. It sort of has a life of its own in a way. And, the most control we ever get is, once you've written 5 or 6 songs and you see that, the record's going one way or another, at that point you say to yourself, well, I think to be a more balanced record, we should have more of these kind of songs or more of these kind of songs. But really that's about as contrived as we ever possibly get, because we like to, we get together from time to time when we have to write, and we don't really do much writing in between those times, with the exception of spontaneous sort of jams and improvisations on the road, which we do tape. But it's a very spontaneous and natural expression when we get together to write.
Dan, thank you for your call, and you got a good answer there. Let's talk now to Scott. Scott's in San Francisco listening to 97.3 The Rocker. Hi there.
How's it going?
Good. How you doing, Scott?
How you doing, Geddy?
Pretty good.
This feels weird talking to you. I can't believe this.
Scott, we're about out of time. Can I get a question, please?
I just want to know, you guys have been together for about, 12 years, real tight, and I want to know if you guys had any plans for soloing, anything like that, had any offers, anything like that?
Well, each of us on our own has done sort of, cameos or guest shots or on different records in the past. Alex did one last year with a Canadian group called Platinum Blonde, and there's been various things. Neil's played on records by Jeff Berlin, an excellent bassist in Los Angeles area, and I've done work with friends and produced a number of things, and I think there probably will be things like that pop up from time to time, but no one has the burning desire to make the individual, Neil Peart or Geddy Lee or Alex Lifeson's solo record. I mean, one might come along, but it's not a burning need. Nobody's frustrated enough to need to break out on their own.
So there you go, Scott, and thank you for being on this evening and for wrapping things up as far as the call portion of the show. I want to thank everybody for listening and for calling and for writing, too. Our address, if you don't have it, is P.O. Box 4383, Hollywood, California, 90078. Next week, it's The Cars. Then coming soon, check out this lineup. Yes, Loverboy, In Excess, Ron Wood of the Rolling Stones, Robbie Robertson, formerly of the band, Def Leppard, and much more, as only Rockline gives you the chance to talk to the hottest stars in rock and roll, live and nationwide in the U.S. and Canada. Thanks to our New York Rockline production team this evening. That's where Geddy has been located tonight. And, of course, to you, Geddy Lee, I look forward to your concert here in Southern California. And thank you very much for being on tonight. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
No, it was my pleasure being here. I really enjoyed doing it.
All right. Come back again and invite Neil and Alex if they want to. They're more than welcome to come on.
I will. I promise I will.
All right. Thank you, Getty. You know, often you hear the phrase "resign to pursue further interest," and it means somebody has been fired. But in the case of our producer, Cindy Tolan, it's a matter of fact. Cindy is the only producer this show has ever had, and she has recently resigned to pursue further interest. And tonight is her last Rockline, and I hope that she'll remember us because we'll never forget her. She's been a major reason why Rockline is one of the top syndicated shows in North America, why the show sounds the way it does, and why we have the top talent lineup of any show in radio. Our loss will be the film industry's gain. Remember the name Cindy Tolan. You'll be hearing it in the years to come. In the same vein, congratulations to our new producer, Mark Felsot. Mark has been with us for quite some time, and I'm sure that he will sustain the quality that Rockline has exhibited over the years. I'm BC, and I'll be seeing you in a week. You've been listening to Rockline, brought to you in part by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Rockline is engineered by Jimmy Height, Conrad Pignon, Jim Pettyjohn, and Steve Dumais, and mixed on Yamaha professional sound equipment. Special production by Jimmy Rash. Technical direction by Jim Nelson. Our thanks to Sharon Sanchez, C.W. West, and Kevin Stevens for their special help. Rockline is produced by Mark Felsot. Executive producer Howard Gilman. Rockline is a presentation of the Global Satellite Network for distribution in the United States by the ABC Rock Radio Network.
All alone, we pretend It's just the stage. We disengage, we turn the page. Every day we start in a time capsule. We disengage, we turn the page, reaching down a river from the past. It's just the standing in a wind tunnel, just the age. We disengage, we turn the page, racing down the future coming past. It's just we standing in a wind tunnel, it's just the age. We disengage, we turn the page, racing down the river from the past. It's just we standing in a time capsule. We disengage, we turn the page. Hold your fire, keep it burning bright. Hold the flame till the dream ignites. A spirit with a vision is a dream with a mission. Hear the passionate music with the words that touch my heart. I gaze at the feverish pictures, the secrets that tear them apart. I feel the powerful visions, the fires made alive. I wish I had that instinct. I wish I had that drive. Spirits fly on dangerous missions, imaginations on fire. Focused high on soaring ambitions, consumed in a single desire. In the grip of a nameless possession, slave to a driving obsession. A spirit with a vision is a dream with a mission. Watch their images flicker, bringing light to a lifeless stream. I walk through their beautiful buildings, and I wish I had their dream. But dreams don't need to have motion to keep their spark alive. Obsession has to have action, rivals on the drive. Spirits fly on dangerous missions, imaginations on fire. Focused high on soaring ambitions, consumed in a single desire. In the grip of a nameless possession, a slave struggled, how they suffered about it. If their lives are exotic and strange, they would likely gladly exchange them with something a little more plain, maybe something a little more sane. We each pay a fabulous price for love into the paradise, but a spirit with a vision is a dream without a mission. A spirit with a vision is a dream. A spirit with a vision is a dream with a mission. Turn my back to the wind to catch my breath before I start up again. Living on without a moment to spend. To pass an evening with a drink and a friend. I let my skin get too thin. I like to pause no matter what I pretend. Like some pilgrim who lets it transcend. Lives to live, I didn't step for the end. I'm looking back, but I want to look around me now. See all of the people and the faces that surround me now. Time stands still. Free this moment a little bit longer. Make each sensation a little bit stronger. Experience slips away. Experience slips away. Time stands still. Turn my face to the sun. Close my eyes. Let my defenses down. All those wounds that I can't get around. I let my paths go too fast. No time to pause. If I could slow it all down, like some captain whose ship runs aground. I did wait until the day comes around. I'm not looking back, but I want to look around me now. See more of the people and the places that surround me now. Breathe this moment a little bit longer. Make each sensation a little bit stronger. Make each impression a little bit stronger. Freeze this motion a little bit longer. The innocence slips away. The innocence slips eye of the storm. Look out for the force without form. Look around at the sight and sound. Look in, look out, look around. Of the storm. Look out for the force without form. Look around at the sight and sound. Look in, look out, look around. Without form, look around at the sight and sound. Look in, look the storm in the eye. Look out to the sea and the sky. Look around at the sight and sound. Look in, look out, look around. Yeah.
Why do I have to die?
I guess they're coming to get you, Berg.
Shut your mug, screw.
Light me a cigarette, will you? I'm not taking what I thought I'd be. I'm pretty nervous, though. I never had anything to do with electricity before. A little white light will lead you to my blue heaven. A smiling face, a fireplace, a cozy room. You can't do it! You can't take him! Leave him alone!
killer instinct. I'm throwing away the key. Basic elemental instinct to survive stirs the higher passions, thrill to be alive. Alternating currents in a tidewater surge, rational resistance to an unwise urge. Anything can happen from the point of conception to the moment of truth, at the point of surrender to the burden of proof, from the point of ignition to the final drive. The point of the journey is not to arrive. Anything can happen. Basic temperamental filters on our eyes, alter our perceptions, lenses polarize. Alternating currents force a show of hands, rational responses force a change of plans. Anything can happen from a point on the compass to magnetic north, the point of the needle moving back and forth, from the point of entry until the candles burn, the point of departure is not to return. Anything can happen. I set the wheels in motion, turn off all the machines, activate the programs, I'm on behind the scenes. I set the clouds in motion, turn off light and sound, activate the window, watch the world go round. From the point of conception to the moment of truth, at the point of surrender to the burden of proof, from the point of ignition to the final drive. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. The things that we're concealing will never